Hello, family and friends. Hola from Quito, Ecuador.
So our journey to Ecuador started out in Panama City. We flew to Bogota, the capital of Colombia. And then after a 3-hour layover, we boarded our flight to Quito. As it turned out, we were pretty lucky with our timing because the flight before ours had to be diverted to another city because of strong winds. So after a long travel day, we were just happy to arrive safely in Quito.
So I should say right now we are in our apartment here in Quito, about 1,400 square feet, massive. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But so we're inside our apartment today. But Ecuador gets its name from the Spanish word for equator, and the country actually straddles the equator. There's even a famous monument celebrating its location at the middle of the world, as they say it here, about 14 miles outside of Quito. Quito, or Ecuador, is actually a relatively small country, roughly the size of Nevada, a little smaller than the size of the United Kingdom. It's tucked between Colombia and Peru, and it's one of the smallest countries in South America.
So we're spending 5 nights in Quito, the country's capital, at Old Town Quito Suites, right in the heart of the historic center. It is a charming boutique property, just 7 apartments, housed in a beautifully restored 300-plus-year-old colonial mansion. It has been a wonderful home base for exploring the city. And actually, our apartment is, how big would you say
I just mentioned about 1,400 square feet.
Yeah, it's really big.
And they know this building is at least 300 years old. They think it might be older than that.
Yeah.
But one thing you definitely notice in Quito is the altitude. At about 9,350 feet above sea level, Quito is the second highest capital in the world. We'll be visiting the highest capital in the world in about a month. We're going to keep it a secret for right now, and we will let you know that in about a month what is the highest capital in the world. But we knew the elevation could affect us, so we've been taking it easy the first couple of days, perhaps except for our hike at 13,400 feet. But anyway, we've been hydrating and just basically taking it easy. But even with Quito's steep hills, very hilly city, we've been out of breath more than once.
Yeah. So on our first full day, we joined a 4-hour guided walking tour through the historic center with our guide, Tefa. We absolutely loved her. She was incredibly knowledgeable about Ecuadorian history and culture, and she also shares so much about the country's food and traditions.
And we enjoyed Tefa so much that actually we're going to go to dinner with Tefa and her mother tomorrow night. Tomorrow, Saturday, right. But we visited beautiful churches, historic plazas, and the famous basilica here, San Francisco Basilica. Along the way, we enjoyed some fun local tastings. We had some local ice cream, Ecuadorian candies, and Tran's favorite, which was
the chocolate tasting. So Tefa was incredibly knowledgeable about Ecuadorian chocolate and made the tasting so delicious and fun. We sampled 12 different chocolates, ranging from 60 to 100% cacao, including some interesting flavors like ginger, chili and salt, orange rind, coffee, and lemongrass. which was my favorite.
Yep. So after the walking tour, we took an Uber up to El Penacelo, a hill overlooking Quito, to see the famous Winged Virgin of El Penacelo up close. The statue is one of Quito's most recognizable landmarks, but the real highlight for us was the spectacular panoramic view of the city below us. Just a beautiful city.
Mm-hmm. The next day was another full day. We started with Quito's famous cable car,
Yep.
which goes up the eastern slope of Pichincha volcano, and it is one of the highest aerial tramways in the world. We started at the lower station of about 10,200 feet and went up to Cruz Loma at roughly 13,400 feet in just 10 minutes.
Surprisingly, I think we acclimated pretty quick to the elevation
Yeah.
because it didn't really bother us
It
that
didn't
much.
affect us, yeah.
But up there we had sweeping views of Quito, the surrounding Andean valleys, and because we were lucky enough to have a clear morning, and they said we really were lucky, some of the surrounding volcanoes were easily seen,
Yeah.
including Cotopaxi, a volcano, which is the photo you saw at the very beginning of this postcard.
Mm-hmm.
That is Cotopaxi. But we spent about 2 hours at the top hiking and exploring.
Mm-hmm.
The highest point we reached was about 13,400 feet, which I imagined. But I think that's about the
That's
highest
crazy.
we've ever been at elevation, so
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
So after taking the cable car back down, we spent the afternoon exploring the church and convent of San Francisco, one of the oldest and most important religious sites in Ecuador. The interior of the church was breathtaking, with incredible artwork,
Beautiful.
ornate details everywhere we looked. We also learned a fascinating piece of Quito's history. Franciscan monks at the San Francisco Monastery are credited with brewing what is considered the first beer in South America back in 1586.
1566.
Okay.
1566, because the Franciscan monks came from Europe.
Yeah.
And those crazy Catholics, and I say that with love of my heart as a fellow Catholic, they had to have their beer.
Yep.
And so they introduced it to South America. But it's hard to believe we've been in Quito for only 2 days. I don't think we have moved this fast in a
Yeah.
long time. We have seen so much in 2 days. It's crazy, but we just enjoy it so much. But between the history, the architecture, the incredible food, chocolate, candies, the mountain views, mountain hiking, and the energy of this high altitude city, Quito has really been much more than we expected
Yeah.
and really growing on us. This is a really cool city.
Yep, it is.
And this is just the beginning of our Ecuadorian adventure.
So our next stop is Cuenca.
hmm
It is often described as one of Ecuador's most beautiful colonial city. So we can't wait to see what's waiting for us there.
So until then,
Until then,
we'll keep following the sun. Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.